We have an awful lot of items in the open request system, which we're going to need to sort out here. So we'll start off with the cobblestone extra shingles, which is a recipe that we can teach to our new tier 3 stonemason. And the recipe is simple enough, so we'll teach the build that, as well as teaching it the recipe to make the cobblestone extra materials, which we do now have space for to teach new recipes thanks to the tier 3 upgrade, which gave us double the amount of recipe slots within this list. And that now seems to be all of the stone materials that we can teach to the stonemason for the moment. So now onto the terracotta pieces, which are technically still another stonemason recipe, but in order to get the terracotta, we will need to smelt it down first, which we will require a stone smeltery build to do that. And it just so happens that we have now completed the research to unlock the stone smeltery, so let's go ahead with this build. That doesn't really help us with the current requirement for terracotta, but we do have other means in order to obtain some. It just means that in the future, I won't have to come out here and have to do this very, very tedious work. Oh, and would you look at that? Another potential cave system that we can expand into. And yes, I may have installed yet another mod to help us out here. The next items on the list are chiseled quartz blocks and blocks of lapis lazuli. We will require a mechanic's hut to make those blocks up for us, which we required the blacksmith being up at tier 3 in order to then unlock the research for it. And we do now have a tier 3 blacksmith. So we have started the what you need research to unlock the mechanic's hut, alongside ability to give our citizens some more block placement speed, but these are going to take a little while longer until we're able to unlock those. So for now then, I guess I just have to make them up those blocks myself, although I still will teach the stonemason how to make the chiseled quartz block, just because I always want them to be self-sufficient here. Lorena, our miner, is going to forever request sandstone in for her mine, which will require us having quite a lot of sand. And in order for us to start getting sand, we will need to start crushing down some gravel, which will mean that we will need to start crushing down some cobblestone, which all ultimately just then means we will need to construct our crusher build, which unfortunately is just a little bit too far out from our colony's boundary here. That's rather irritating. Well, once we construct the stone smeltery build, then hopefully that will push back the boundary a bit. Then we can construct the crusher. The smooth red sandstone is another stone smeltery build requirement, and the dark oak pressure plate is a mechanic build requirement. So let's move further down the list, and we have a lot of armor here, which are made out of either gold or leather, and we can teach gold items to the blacksmith here. As for leather though, we will require up our Fletcher, and I believe that we do have the research in order to unlock this, so let's construct our Fletcher. And in the meantime, just teach the blacksmith how to make some gold armor. Not that we have much gold within the colony, but at least that will be off of the list once we do get in some. We now have enough idiots in to the point that we have a fisherman, and they are requesting a fishing rod, which is a Fletcher recipe item, so good fight the fisherman. So we'll move on then to Riley's request for some framed paper extra, which is of a double-crossed style requiring spruce planks and paper extra. And that is a very simple sawmill recipe. Right, Leighton, let's get to work. The paper extra materials will of course require some paper, but this is something that our planter from the plantation should be able to make for us. We don't yet have a plantation, which doesn't really help matters, but we are upgrading the composter at the moment in order to unlock the plantation. I just can't remember exactly what tier of composter we need. It is the Let It Grow research here to unlock the plantation, and it's not the composter at all, it's just farms totaling at least 3 levels, which we have, alongside 16 compost. We have too many researches happening at the moment to actually go for that, but I am growing compost here, so that's not going to be an issue. The last items in a request list that I can deal with at the moment are for some stone tools, which are once again just simply a stonemason build recipe. I lied about that actually, they are a blacksmith recipe. Why clearly stone related items are for a blacksmith, I'm still not entirely sure, but at least we now can teach some more recipes for them. Well, that is everything now off of our request system, at least for the moment. So, let's see what our builders are requesting all of these items for then. Koa is out here working on our medieval birch alternative style couriers at the moment, and is making some progress with it, which is nice. I think this is probably a good time then to see if we can deconstruct the floating guards tower just above this. I will get Koa coming out here to do that for us just after he's finished off this build here. Oh, speaking of finishing off builds, that is Mariah just finished upgrading her own builder's hut there to tier 3. So well done Mariah then. This is our Nordic style builder's hut now up at tier 3, and Mariah, more importantly, is now available to construct some of those new builds for us. And she has picked up the stone smeltery build. Fantastic. This is a fortress style build, so it should be fairly simple for her to make. We will assist of course whenever she requests any items for it. But let's continue on checking up on our builders. I can see Ellison there in her builder's hut, and I know that she is upgrading that to tier 3 at the moment, but I think it's her who is requesting in so many of these items from the stonemason. Yep, she is requesting in smooth red sandstone in order to continue working here, which I am loathed to getting for you at the moment, just until we do get the stone smeltery up, then I can have the colony automate that for us. So sorry Alison, you're just going to need to wait a little while longer until Mariah gets this building up. Riley is working on our composter's hut, and this is going up to tier 2 at the moment. It really shouldn't take her too long to get these items in for it. And finally, Julia, I believe, should be working over here on a new house build for us. Yep, I reckon she is working on the medieval dark oak alternative house style here, and has really not done too much to it. I'm guessing she's requesting in a few more items here in order to continue building, but we will see. She is indeed actually some framed dark oak planks that she's going to need. Right, back to the sawmill. I also have just caved in, and I will get Ellison her red sand here. At least then I will get her back up and working as a builder for us. It's just so tough having to come out here and do all of this really difficult work. And yeah, whilst I'm at it, I may as well grab some sand here as well for Lorena. Alright then Ellison, I have your sandstone there, so you take all of that. In fact, there's even more of it for you. And it seems that it's Ellison here who has been requesting in all of these quite difficult items from the request system. She's the one who's wanting in all of the terracotta blocks. Well, all of that has now been taken care of for her, so I will let her upgrade her own builder's hut to tier 3. The couriers is coming along pretty nicely. How is our stone smeltery coming along? Not too bad by the looks of it. Nicely done here, Mariah. Amazingly, we are already 40% done with this, and all we have done is place in another floor of dirt. Cool. I really like the fortress builds actually. Nice and simple. We are pretty much just back into the state of waiting on our delivery system, getting some items to our builders at the moment. We really need a lot more couriers up and working for us, but we also need a lot of these builds up as well to help with that process. I think once all of our builders have finished off their current builds, so long as they don't pick up any other ones that I've already set and have forgotten about, I will maybe start getting them to construct our other couriers just in the center here, because I think in total we maybe only have 4 or 5 couriers working within that warehouse there at the moment. I don't think we even have any couriers working inside of this one yet. Not that it has anything inside of it yet, because it is just recently constructed. But I will see anyway. Nope, we do not have any worker currently assigned to this build at the moment. So, as nice as it is to get this build up and working for us, there is really no point in it until we do have some couriers who can actually work within it. There is so much required to be done here, pretty much just all at the same time. It's really pushing our systems a little bit here, but once we do get some things up and working, everything will just start slotting into place like clockwork. Until we need to recruit some new idiots into the colony, of course. Then we're going to have a whole housing issue ordeal on our hands, because I think we already have a few homeless citizens. Nicely done here, Koa. That is some good progress. This is what I like to see. The medieval birch alternative courier's hut is now up at 95%, so this will flag off as complete very shortly, as will Riley's composter hut just across the way in the cave system. It too is at 95%. And I can see the stone smeltery build here is also progressing pretty quickly. We are now over 70% done with this, and it too will soon flag off as complete very shortly. It's just Ellison and Julia letting the team down here today. The rest of our builders are definitely making good progress quick. Well, that's Koa just finished with the courier hut there. Brilliant. I hope we have a spare idiot to become another courier for us, which we do, and the colony has already assigned Riley to the build. So let's recall you back, and that's only going to help with our delivery system here. And Koa has picked up the deconstruction order for that build just above, which is fine. That really won't take him too long to do. And any second now, we are going to get up a message that Riley, our builder, has just finished off with her composter's upgrade. Yep, there it is. Just sadly didn't get to it in time. But let's go in and check up on it. Nicely done with this then, Riley. And we will come into it and upgrade it immediately then to tier 3, because I'm pretty sure it's then at tier 3 that we can then go for the florist build upgrade within the university. Oh, and there's Koa already deconstructed that build. And Mariah has finished off with our stone smeltery. Brilliant. Again, a shame that I didn't get to it in time. But let's head over, check it out, and see if it has expanded out our colony's boundary. Sadly, I don't think it was enough to expand it out for us to construct a crusher here. Let's check. No, sadly not. It's still outside of the boundary. Well, with the deconstructed guard tower there, what I will do is pick it up and we will just build it over there to expand the colony out that way. And I see that you do not have a job at the moment then, Koa, so let's get you constructing this couriers here, which is our warped couriers. Oh, that's going to take forever to get up. And I will just reposition the guards tower to floating about over there. Then we will get up to it, start the build order for it, and hopefully that will then push out our boundary after it's up and constructed. Mariah has picked up the work order for our Fletcher's hut, which is absolutely fine. I'm sure that we will get in a whole host of new items in our open request system for what she's going to need for it, which I don't see any items requested yet for it, but once we do get that build up, then we can take these things off for leather leggings and other leather armor, because the Fletcher will be able to do that for us, seeing as we just clearly do not have any gold at the moment, so the blacksmith cannot help us with that. Jalaya is making some good progress then, finally, with our medieval dark oak house. This is already 50% complete, and she's just awaiting in a few more deliveries. Then she should have everything for it. I think Riley has picked up a new guard tower out in our agricultural district. I'm hoping that I've placed it sensibly and it's not just a floating one. Regardless, she has everything that she requires in for it already, just awaiting some birch fence gates and some stripped birch logs. So that won't take her too long to get up and running for us. Then she can finally head out here and help us with some of these builds. And Kaiser, as much fun as I'm sure you're having just phasing in and out of reality here, I really need things done here today, son, so if we could stop and just get back to work, please. I also forgot to check to see if we do have any worker for our stone smeltery. We do, we have Melissa. Now, I will need to tell you what type of fuel to use, which will be coal. And now we better start teaching you some recipes here. So, block of quartz to smooth quartz, and sandstone to smooth sandstone. You know the drill. I think she should also be able to turn normal cobblestone into stone for us as well. Yes, perfect. So this build is really going to work in harmony with the stonemason just beside it, so I'm really happy with us getting this up today. If only we could have had it up earlier, but at least we now do have it. And really, the last building that we need to check up on for today is Ellison and her tier 3 upgrade to her own builder's hut, which we have made some progress with. We are 63% done with it, awaiting in some oak slabs and a few more deliveries, which I will just quickly make you up the oak slabs here. That will save some delivery nonsense. But yes, this will be our 5th and final builder's hut for the moment to get up to tier 3, so all of our builders around our colony should now be able to upgrade all builds to tier 3 at least. That's our researchers made their conclusions about what you need. So that is going to be our mechanic build then unlocked for next time. Perfect. And they now also understand ability, so our citizens should be able to place blocks just a little bit faster, which ultimately will only assist our builders with the construction of their builds. But now that we do have some free research slots, let's go for Let It Grow to unlock the plantation, and that will be yet another build for us to then find a home for at another point. And I should just make it in time to see Ellison complete her builder's hut to tier 3. Nicely done there, pal. Perfect. And we are also just in time to see Julia finish up her medieval dark oak house as well. Damn, that was just good timing. We still have so much more to do here, but we are slowly making progress and things are slowly starting to slot into place, which is absolutely fantastic. So, more of the same next time.